of you. This is Sayee, and thanks for tuning into this new segment of Serin Studios, where we meet new people who are shaping culture, breaking barriers, and bringing something new into this world. Today, we have someone with us who has beautifully woven the threads of knowledge, tradition, and culture into a unique experience. From someone who has spent years in shaping young minds as teachers and then further taking the journey of passion into an entirely new stage where culture, heritage, and storytelling is meeting. From walking through timeless temples and curating experiences for themselves and others, she has been nothing but an inspiration to all of us. She is also the force behind cultural initiatives massively happening in Pune. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome Miss Archana Natu-Vaidya ma'am here with us today. Hello ma'am.
Hello.
It's a delight to have you here. It's been a great detailed journey about while I was studying about you. And I'd love to start and understand your work process from starting off with how you have been keeping these days. Life must have been quite eventful with all those cultural workshops happening here and there. How have you been keeping yourself with?
So basically, as you have already described, my journey was like from teaching to this profession in travel and tourism, basically curating cultural and heritage tours and trips for people.
Right.
So, of course, it's been very, very eventful because I'm always on my toes because I keep on planning, and planning is not only just a site which I have to see, but of course, how I'm going to take people there, what I'm going to give them for the breakfast or maybe for the lunch.
Right.
So it's like my mind is totally occupied with these thoughts, and of course my life has really become very, very eventful because of this profession.
Right. Amazing. Speaking of journeys, as you mentioned, you have been planning itineraries, maybe planning things for people who they might like, thinking about these people. So I'd love to begin at the grassroots level where you have studied these things before actually stepping into this journey. You have, according to my research, you have done Indology for 1 year from TMV Institute in Pune. So that might be the foundation of everything what you are doing. So how did your Indology diploma has influenced a deep connection with what you are doing with temples and heritage works?
Yeah. So basically, what I feel is when you are just reading,
Right.
so you are not experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I feel if you want to experience, if you want to learn, you need to go out. So when I learned, when I took this admission for Indology, so basically, it's the study where we get to learn more about the temples, our history, our culture, iconography, sculptures. So, as we know that in our history books, we don't have any subject which talks about temples.
Right.
We don't have any subject which talks about sculpture, iconography. And according to me, this is very, very interesting because when in schools, I never liked history as a subject, and not after that also. But when I took the admission in Indology, I started gaining interest in the Indian culture, temples, and of course the history.
Right.
So, no doubt, it has changed my life. Yeah, and perspective also. So, for me now, I am talking more about temples because there is not only just going and worshipping the god. There's something more into it. Yeah. So this is how actually I learned. But to be very frank, I never got so much time to attend the classes.
Right.
But it was just reading. But now, as I have started traveling and visiting the places, I'm gaining more knowledge about
mixing both things together.
Yes.
So it is actually very inspiring how you were actually not a history enthusiast at first, and then completely indulging yourself with something you do. Amazing. Now that is when we say that education actually plants a seed for passion, it seems. So speaking of the education, you said, as you said, you have been a teacher since like more than 10 years before stepping into this field. So how did the transition from education sector to tourism and travel has changed you professionally as well as personally? Like, how did that happen? How was the transition about it?
Okay. So, so as a teacher, there was a set routine.
Right.
So we just had to, yes, there, of course, there used to be discussions among the teachers regarding the routine, timetable, but it was in the four walls.
Right.
And we had a set routine, like this we are going to teach the next day. So we knew what exactly was going to happen,
Right.
or what this week is going, how it's going to be. So there is a total shift in my profession. So I was always in those four walls. But now it's like I'm moving all around.
Right.
So, and when I was a teacher, even that time I used to feel that bringing children outside the classroom,
Right.
Actually children get more interest when it is taught outside
the class.
Because what I feel is the five senses which those five senses are used when we are outside.
Yeah.
So in the classroom it's like only
Few senses are used.
So it's like experiencing, seeing, hearing, and feeling.
Right.
So basically, professionally, I would say that it is a total
Shifting.
because now I visit places, then I see whether how can I bring people here.
Right.
So it's not necessary that the path or the travel could be convenient. So I need to think like how I'm going to plan differently.
Yeah.
Yes. So first thing is I have to go there, and whether it is visible or not, I need to think that. So many things like management comes into that, logistic comes into that. So when I was a teacher, I never thought about it. It was like a ready platter, which I used to get. So now, right from curating to executing,
Everything.
I have to do that. So
it is so inspiring that you have like chosen something completely different from what you were doing, and as you said that children need to get outside the classroom to actually gain some cultural or different knowledge whatever you have been learning in the textbook. So now that I also, when I think about my school days, stories were something which we would love to enjoy, to hear and listen.
And you actually asked about history, right? So as I said, as a student, I never liked history as a subject because I never liked the battles which were taught or even the eras. I never remembered them. But as I said, when history as a subject, it needs to be like a story. There are so many incidences which we just read. But suppose we take children into the past or even into the past, you just make them imagine things.
Correct.
So I think that will be helpful. So history needs to be more of storytelling.
Storytelling, right? And now when we are talking about history, so and how these things have professionally and personally changed for you. So what were the key things you kept in your mind while like transitioning? So there might have been 100%, everything is not a flower garden. There might have been some difficulties. So how did you and who throughout this journey stood by you, keep on supporting you that what you're doing? Because this is not an easy transit. So how was your any difficult experiences you would like to think and share?
So first thing is, as you said, it was not a rosy path.
Yes.
And it's never actually. We always think that life is very easy, or the path which we are going to choose is going to be very, very easy. But it's not like that. And same happened with me also. So coming into travel thing was somehow it happened again. Since I love being with kids, I wanted to do something with
For
kids. So actually I started curating experiential learning programs for children, and then these temples came into my life, and I started curating heritage walks and cultural tours. So many times this has happened that initially when I started, I had announced but no one turned up, or only 2 people turned up. So it used to be like I had to, like, whether to do it or no, only 2 people are going to be there.
Show up, then is it a world change?
Yes. So the decision again, I used, like, it used to be very difficult what to do. So I had to cancel my walks, and I had cancelled my walk. Recently, like last week, I had announced one Devi Heritage Walk for during the Navratri season. But since because of the heavy rains, I had to cancel.
So there are lots of factors which are affecting.
Sometimes, suppose if we have the food which we have to give people, so I need to be always on my phone. I have to be always on my phone because the coordination is very, very important. And as you, like, for me, my daughter and my mother they are like a strong pillar for me. And my daughter, of course, she's like, suppose if something, it's a human tendency that like it's not happening, so naturally
should be back, step back one step.
Should I do it or no? But of course, my daughter, she's like, Mama, it's okay. Next time it will happen. So you don't get disappointed. So it's like that. And things have started
turning what you want. So, ma'am, furthermore, do you recall your first temple visit or any heritage site which not just visually impacted on you but also had an emotional connect to? Any temple or a memory which you were like, this is something which I have emotionally connected with?
So talking about temples, of course, Hampi is a place which I think I have visited some 5 times. And but still, whenever I go there, especially the temples, so it's like you can really be there when you go there. So being there, like if we are in the cities especially, nowadays you see that you will find rush everywhere, it's crowded. But when you go to, especially I like to visit the temples which are really like there is no rush, because you can actually sit and you can experience or feel that place. And Hampi, of course, the temples in Hampi and especially the architecture. So because I feel that there is so much to learn even from these temples and the sculptures. There is so much to feel and learn from these places.
Definitely, that's so beautifully said. When you are actually there in the surrounding of the temple, you get the essence of it. It's amazing. And it is actually a very refreshing approach, if you ask me, as someone who we have been living in Pune, which is a city which is like breathing culture every now and then. Which leads me to ask you about my further question about your establishment, BrahmanKosh. So, in your words, how does BrahmanKosh is different or like working differently than a regular travel agency?
So, firstly, I would like to tell you the meaning of BrahmanKosh, how actually the name came. So, I wanted to give my company a name which has Hindi or Sanskrit words. So, when I actually started traveling or I started visiting places which I never saw, talking to people, listening about their experiences, their challenges, there was so much which I was learning, which I was actually feeling. So basically, Brahman is travel, and Kosh in Hindi or Sanskrit is actually something which you store. So
like a storage.
Yes. So basically, Brahman is the travel which I do and others do, and Kosh is whatever I have collected in that Kosh. So I want to give it to people.
Okay.
So whatever I have experienced, whatever I have felt, whatever I have learned,
Right.
or if I have seen something different, I really want to give it to
You want
my
people
audience.
to also
Yeah.
experience
Yes.
that.
So this is how actually the name came up.
So basically the question was about how does BrahmanKosh is working differently than regular travel agency. You have a lot of agency who is making itineraries for Badami Hampi as well. How is your company different than these companies?
So first thing is naturally we have to I have to do some trips which are like others also.
Right.
But how I can curate or how the itinerary could be different. So what I do exactly is I actually keep researching about the culture of that place. So suppose if I have taken people to Hampi or I have a product which has Kolhapur, Khidrapur and Miras. So Miras is a place where Satar is made.
Yeah.
So in India, if you see that is the only place and which where the satar is made. So I take people there and the process is shown over there. Like from a pumpkin, how it is converted into a satar. So this is again giving knowledge as well as knowing how much of effort goes into all this. We just go and buy things, but we don't know exactly how much efforts is gone, and so such things like as I said, and even if I take them to Kolhapur, Kolhapur is famous for Kolhapuri chappal also.
Yes.
People go and visit Mahalakshmi temple. But with that, I thought if I can take them to a family where they make those Kolhapuri chappals, then again from raw to the end product, how is the process? So I have done that also. So this is how I curate my programs, adding something which is different from others.
So of course there are not a lot of companies, and I think there are none who are like showcasing whole process, and people are not that aware about these things. So it is a very good initiative to like showcase the culture and how it has been preserved for so many years. It is amazing and it actually sounds so incredible. It is like making your creativity and extending it to the brim. So as you have said that like you go to the temple or like the cultural heritage site first yourself before taking people to that place. So what inspired you to like kind of like make this as your way of making itineraries, and how did the sari walks or like dhoti workshops? This is something new. I have not seen someone in Pune doing this like religiously. So how do you have like come up with these things, and how have people connected to them? Was the response tremendous? How was people's reaction to these workshops?
Yes. So again, we need to curate something which is attractive.
Right.
It should be attractive. And only just education is also like giving education and only talking about the places sometimes could be boring.
Right.
So how can it be more attractive? That is always there in my mind. How differently I can curate this thing. Like the sari walk which I do is basically, I have seen that whenever I do these heritage walks, most of the women are connected. Women are connected more. And then the first sari walk which I did was during Women's Day. So Women's Day is celebrated nowadays everywhere in different forms. So now the thing which was there in my mind was how I can combine heritage to this Women's Day. So then what I did was I wanted, like nowadays even women, they like to wear sari and like they love to wear sari because saris become very famous even in the youngsters.
Yeah, definitely.
And so then I thought, why not club it with the heritage walks? So the first one which I did was in Pataleshwar. I did a Pataleshwar walk where an Indologist was with me. She gave the authentic information of the Pataleshwar temple. Plus, I had a photographer, and I told all the ladies to dress up in sari, and I was amazed to see the response. For my first sari walk, I had around 20 to 23 ladies, and now it's like I have done 4 to 5. So one was in the old Pune with the Vadas, information regarding the Vadas, and shoot in those Vadas.
In those authentic backgrounds.
Yes, even one was Monday and Tushita.
Right.
So it's now a hit. Like people ask me, or the ladies, women ask me, like my friends, when are you going to have the next
one? So people are waiting for.
Yes.
As a media student, I have to ask you, how has social media impacted your overall establishment or anything connecting to people to actually like making this happen? Has your vision accomplished the goal which you initially have drafted? You might have thought about something else, and now due to social media or power of social media, you have actually achieved way more than that. So how is social media impacting your overall company growth and initiative?
Yes, I think I give some at least 60 to 70% credit to social media. Because whatever I have announced, or whatever the programs which have been already, like they have been completed. So what I do is I put everything on social media. I have an Instagram handle also. So I was not a very like I never got into all these things.
Right.
Like how now right from creating the logos plus the creatives, the flyers, and putting and making reels. I do everything.
Yeah.
So now
it is like connecting people from different age groups till different eras also.
Yes. And now like I want more and more youngsters to be a part of this heritage walks. But I can say at least in every heritage walk I have at least 1 or 2 young people. So I want to bring them also for these. Yes, or for the panels.
Yes. Very nice. That is great. So like I feel like within like few years there will be more and more youngsters who are like willing to know about it, because as from our generation, if I would speak, that there are many people who are like very interested but do not find any perfect platform to join in. There are lots of things, but personally and like being physically present into a workshop and like experiencing and getting knowledge, there are very less people, and you're one of those. So I hope that there will be many people coming. Moving ahead, so like if some fun questions coming to BrahmanKosh, what would be the 3 words which will come into your mind when you say the word BrahmanKosh? Any 3 words which would kind of completely describe about what is actually BrahmanKosh. So it would be like a only quick answer, 3 words only for BrahmanKosh.
Culture, travel, and experience.
Nice. That might be a new tagline for you as well. Nice, really. If you say these 3 words, people would immediately think of your company. Amazing. That's beautiful. And of course, coming to the very next part of it, passion needs fuel as well. So like what keeps you inspired throughout these workshops, through maybe it might be through reading, through traveling also, or maybe day-to-day meeting people on a practices. So what was your key inspiration to like keep on going?
Of course, the people whom I met.
Right.
And yes, from like we sometimes say you need to be determined. So these are the words we actually hear.
Right.
So for me it was like again the question was whether I would be able to do this or not. Being, and for me, my mother and my daughter, they are like whatever I do, they are happy with that, and they keep encouraging me. So I always I keep on reminding myself, if they can do, I can.
Right.
If he can do, I can.
Right.
So this is how I think I'm able to
keeping yourself up with it. It is actually very inspiring. It is not easy to like continue doing something without not getting any inspiration. So it is actually very fascinating how younger minds as right now from our generation are also looking up to you as someone that you can do these things. I've also talked to a lot of people, and they also are very interested in this cultural and heritage walks and things. So further question for the younger minds, that what one advice if you would like to give to our younger generation who might be watching and who are like thinking about doing a career into these things? What would be one advice or like one thing which they should keep in mind if they are like seriously thinking about pursuing a career in travel and tourism?
If you want to do it, then you need to be determined about it. And what may come in your way, you have to show.
Right. Any last quotes or things you would like to say to our audience who are like, who might be like tuned in and like watching this? Any last things you would like to say?
I would like to say, if you're passionate about what you're doing, things will fall in place. Only that you have to be hardworking. You need to be determined, and you need to you have to show up.
Right.
That is very, very important.
Yes.
Showing up is very, very important.
Of course, it is. In every aspect.
So that's what I would like to tell the audience.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Amazing. Thank you again for giving us a precious time, and I wish you and BrahmanKosh a very long and successful years coming ahead. And I hope you would get more and more opportunity to connect people to culture even more. And we sign off here. Thank you so much, and keep watching Seven Studios. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sayee, for inviting me for this interview.